Howdy doody. This is going to be a quick video on how to navigate around your Brightspace course. So if you go to, let's start backwards. If you click on NBCC, the regular page, and you go to Brightspace, it's going to ask you to sign in. This is me already signed in. I'm going to change the view of my Brightspace so it'll look like a student. And now you're going to have either a course, you got to go to the Fall 2023 right along here. Click on Fall 2023. Going to have either the Math Foundations course that looks like this one. If you're in the pipe trades, plumbing or pipe fitting, it's going to look like this one. If you're in electrical, construction, or industrial. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to go to my basic course that I do all the work in and upload this into your course tomorrow, actually. So here we go. Front page, little welcome message. And there's various sources of information. You might want to start with content. So under content, under the table of contents, you will see that you've got a little welcome message there, and you can just, everything kind of shows up in this big, long list. I like to go on the side and start here. So literally start here. You're going to want to click on this one, Meet Christy. If you've already watched my video here, then you know a lot about me. Here's a few more facts, maybe not included in that crazy video. Here are the links to the survey you're supposed to fill out for me to get to know things about you, and my email and my phone number. You want to call me on Teams in here. A couple things that's important. You must read your Brightspace announcements regularly, like once or twice a day. I would prefer that you not always send me emails, but instead go to the Teams chat. And I'll have another video on that, but really quickly, the Teams chat, if you open up your Teams app, on the left-hand side where it says chat, you can send me a message in here. I'll show that in a separate video. The beauty of using the Teams chat is that all of our messages are together in one big long stream, and I don't have to go back and find 15 emails to answer 15 questions, but that's my preference. Back under Start here, you're going to find a little welcome, some information about, how the course works, the fact there's no real prerequisites. We expect you to have high school math, but there's a large variety of what student skills are. You should have some good organizational skills. You need to get yourself a binder and separate it into sections. I give us a little bit of a read, what you can put in your binder. You need to be aware that learning is a very different process for you and even your cousin in the same class, right? So you have to be respectful of how others learn. Back to Start here. Navigate your course. That's where I'm going to put this actual video. It's going to go in there. It's not there yet, but it will be there. This is an old one from last year. Put the new one there today after I finish this. The course schedule. Most students like this. What we're going to do each week. We're going to start with whole numbers, adding and subtracting fractions, multiplying, dividing fractions, decimals, tape measure stuff, metric, then a test. You have a week off, percents and ratios and proportions, and imperial measurement, another test, perimeter volume and surface area, another test. That's it. The specifics for each week, when the quizzes are, when the assignments are, the deadlines are all in here. This is subject to change, but I'll also, as you're going to see when you go to your calendar, out the front page, the calendar here will show you, if you want to go to the actual calendar itself, it will show you, if you do by the month, you're going to have quizzes due, assignments due, la la la. It'll be in here. I don't like this calendar personally. I would, if I was you, I'd make my own on paper or somewhere else. I think that's busy. But again, it's all in here under, you can each week you'll be able to see what you have to do. Course outline is here. Of course, I skipped right there's the course outline underneath the assessment plan. I will have only the ones for your program. There's all 7 in there right now. I'll take out the ones that don't belong for your group. The assessment plan. This is an important one, right? You're going to have quizzes, you're going to have assignments, you're going to have tests. Basically, that's what you're going to have to do to get your 100% of your course. Quizzes are worth 20, assignments are worth 15, and tests are worth a grand total of 65%. Specifics here. Some specifics. I expect you to read this. I'm not going to read this all to you, but you get 3 attempts on every quiz. There's 10 quizzes in the semester, what I call the topic quizzes. You will find we're going to have some in-class quizzes during class time, and they will add up to a smaller portion of the grade. I'm just like a little check-in quizzes. If you miss a quiz deadline, I might reopen it near the end before the test. But if I do so, I'm only going to let you have a maximum score of in the 60, 65, or 70, whatever 10.5 to 15 is. Your tests and whatnot, you're going to have 3 of those. You got to do them on time. You can't just do willy-nilly. You have to do the work. You have to put your work in right after you finish the test. I expect you to do your work on loose leaf, take pictures, submit it within 45 minutes after finishing the test. I expect you not to cheat, not to discuss with your neighbors, not to use AI, anything of that sort. And I want you to do your own work. And down here, if I see any signs of irregular or doubtful work, I have the right to ask you to explain, to clarify or elaborate on your test questions, to show me you know what you're doing. And if you can't do that, to do a rewrite. No messing around with inauthentic work this year. Assignments. There's 10 of those. You get 100% for doing the assignment as long as it's in on time, it's fully attempted, the work is shown. I don't care if you have a bunch of mistakes. The assignment's broken into 2 grades. The first one is your original attempt. You get 100% for trying every question, like I just said. Then there's the second part of the grade, which is the corrections. You must correct your mistakes and resubmit to get the second portion of the assignment grade. These are free gifts. I give you the answer key. You can check your work, make the changes, and learn. So again, I want you to read all that because that's more important if you read it than if I read it to you. Back to the start here. There's not much else left in that list of things. The course competencies are there. If you want to read what students thought about the course last year, or the year before, there's cool feedback there from previous years, and so on. What you might find, what I think you should focus on a little bit more here is, here's the little folder here called orientation stuff. So I've got a nice little booklet on technology, for example. I'm going to click on that, show you what happens. So I'll go to the table of contents. If you want to know how to get into Brightspace, you want to know how to start a private Teams chat, you want to know how to get into a class in Teams, how to download your apps, blah, 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 blah. It's a good little booklet. How to take a picture of your assignment and put it into a PDF. It's quite good. I do say so myself. So that's where that's at, under the orientation stuff. If you want to know what the tasks, and I keep talking about do your orientation tasks, I put a little list of them in here. So I want you to watch my movie. How do I say 80 years old? Watch the video, do the questionnaire, send me the selfie, do a little quizzy on the Christy video, and then send me a message in the private Teams chat. Bam. So you probably have some of those tasks done already. I'm not asking you to do hard stuff. After our first Monday class together, we're going to do a little quiz on Brightspace, which will be in here, this one. And we meet together for the first time. I'm going to ask you to practice making a submission into Brightspace. It'll go right here in this folder. I'll explain that in person. Just a little heads up. There's some how-to information, like mostly some NBCC crap about multi-factor authentication and all that stuff that might be kind of important. I also made a video here on how to upload an assignment into Brightspace. You might like that. Here's the meat and the bones of the course. In content folders 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on up to number 10. Okay, in folder number 1, week number 1, it's always the same setup. There will be the plan, which it's just a list of what we're going to do. It's the same thing every week. It doesn't really require reading more than once. The objectives. If you're an objective person, you want to know what we're going to cover. It's right there listed for your little checklist. But here's where all the other stuff is. Every lesson is going to have 5 mini folders. First one's a booklet. In this booklet, one, if you're going to print it, which I don't really recommend, you don't have to do that. There's an on-screen view that looks like this. You've got these slides, so it always goes this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. It's like your textbook without having to buy a textbook. It's a Christie-made document. Slide, 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 slide. Info, info, info. Oh, look at this. Here's some extra practice. More extra practice. Then there's an answer sheet. Okay, there's the timetables. So every folder for each week is going to have the same setup. The second one is where I will put the recording links and the notes from classes that we take. Go in there. Want to find your assignment and your quiz? It'll be in here. So here's your first assignment. There's your first quiz. And the 2 answer keys here will only be available after you make your first submission. Or at least I thought they were. I got to go back and check that because I don't think you should be able to see those yet without making a submission, but I might have already made a submission pretending I was you, so that could be why. There's extra YouTube videos here. Okay. Just go back one layer here. Don't be surprised, like I said, if you don't see the assignment answer keys in this folder. There's the assignment, there's the quiz, and below that will be 2 answer keys. They won't typically show up until you make a submission. But I made a submission to make a video earlier, and that's why they're visible. If I go to topic 2, and there's the folder here there's the assignment, there's the quiz. The answer key is actually in there, but you can't see it yet because I did not make a submission as a student in that folder yet. So click on this, and there's your assignment right there. And if you want to upload, you can go here to upload your assignment. Okay. Other things you should know. So all the content's on the left-hand side. I'll put the content up here. Every week, every folder's there. Other places of interest. Under the assessment drop down, your grades are here, your quizzes are here, your assignments are here. Get at your assignments in the content or also in this folder. So for example, here's the first 5 assignment folders. They're open. I've got the first 2 assignments already in there. At the top, there's an orientation folder. I want you to practice making a submission there just for shits and giggles. Make sure you can do that. Up here to view history. This is where you're going to go back later, no doubt, and check and see if you can see your previous submissions. Like, oh shit, did that really get uploaded? I'm not sure. Let's go check. Let's check in folder number 2. Did I make a submission? You hit apply. There's been no submission into folder number 2, but I did make one in number 1. I can check that to be sure. I made a bunch actually this year and last year. But you wouldn't have made anything in yours, and that wouldn't be it. That would be not the same for you. Anyway, you can check all your submissions by going to that spot where it said view here. That was under the assignment Dropbox. Your grades. So as you do your assignments, as you do your quizzes, a grade will go in here. Okay. Don't focus on your grades, focus on the learning. The quizzes are here. The first 2 quizzes are in there already. You can see when they're available and when they're due, and when they're due, they close. You can't do them after that. When they start, when they finish. These are the 2 quizzes on the goofy stuff at the beginning of the year for right now. And the grades can also be located there. Communication. Class list is there. Of course, I haven't uploaded this content to your course yet, but all your class names are there. You might like the FAQ as well. The FAQ has, like, I've kind of done this for your benefit. So for example, if you have a question like, where can I get the notes from class? Where can I get the recordings? The information's all there. Do I have to submit the work for the quizzes? Like common questions I put there. So you might find that helpful. FAQs. So I think I kind of answered them thinking ahead. That's pretty much it. Getting around Brightspace. You might want to check out your notifications up here. You might want to pay attention to notifications. Like I would really like you to do this myself. I would like you down here where it says the news announcements, here and here, to get you to send you a text. There's a new announcement, so you'll know to go read it. And I think that would be really smart. And maybe even when your deadlines are coming up for your assignments, you can send yourself a text just so you don't miss anything. This one annoys the hell out of me. Maybe I put a grade out there. Students have set it up so they get a text. I haven't even hit enter and they're already texting me. Why did I get to 0 to 5? La la la. Anyway, you can do that if you want to. If you yell at me like everybody else will, I'll just deal with it like I normally do. Okay. And that's the course, really. That's what it looks like. Course home. So if you hit course home, it takes you to the home of that course. There's the calendar along the side for that course. Right? So I can see, oh, look, we've got a quiz starting on the 5th. La la la. But also, just to make sure, it's up here to the home. That takes you to the Brightspace for all your courses. The lobby listed, make sure you choose the fall 2023 term. At the beginning, you'll have an all, which would be like every course that you've ever taken. To you, won't be a lot, but for me, it's crazy. I'm going to go back and choose fall 2023. If I can spell. There we go. Okay, if you have any questions about Brightspace, always shoot me a note. Don't be afraid. You can go up here. I like this little guy up here because it lets you pick. You can pin a course to the top. Like if you have certain ones you like a lot, you can pin them, unpin them. Anyway, good luck to you, and I hope you enjoy Brightspace a lot. Take care.